Thank you, Alison. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Jitsi Community Call. A few quick updates from the team. GCM has just landed. Thank you, Jonathan. So would you like to talk a little bit about that, Jonathan? Or?
Sure, yeah. So yeah, that's the new cryptography transformation. I mean, newer. It should be more efficient on the bridges. Just one heads up that if you are on if you're not using an Intel Linux and thus don't get the accelerated OpenSSL support, you want to be on. You don't want to be using Java 1.8 because the Java 1.8 built-in GCM support is terrible, but Java 11 or later should be fine there. We don't officially support that, but it seems to generally work, and a lot of people are using it. Or you can just, or you can run Linux, or you could potentially rebuild the OpenSSL plugins. The other thing is, if you would rather not use that, there is a little bit of overhead if you're just doing audio, or alternately, if you want to use the 256-bit encryption, there's now a configuration option in the config file to change what the preferred SRTP crypto transforms are. And ask the community if you have any questions, or ask here.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. So this is cool. Also, I think we're getting closer with VP9. I mean, we've been getting closer for a while, but it's a substantial project. So this should land hopefully this year. With regard to the bridge, we also have fixes of oversending bugs. We weren't respecting the bandwidth budget, and that was probably causing issues. Now, the problem is that, let's see, let's make sure everyone. Okay. Right. So if you've noticed packet loss issues lately with the video bridge, you want to make sure that you get this bug. We are still seeing some packet loss issues. We're not sure what to attribute them just yet, but we're looking into it. All right. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is lobby. We now have lobby support for the Gigasis as well, which means that it should land really soon on me, Jitsi. That specific Gigasi support, which was, at least we perceived it as a big issue because telephony users for our commercial platforms are a substantial percentage. So we wanted to make sure that they have a consistent experience when lobby is being used. So that's nearly out there. That's pretty cool. Another one, and this is a pretty cool one. It is now possible to use Jibris to stream to arbitrary RTMP destinations, which has been a very widely requested feature. Brian, would you like to talk a little bit about this?
Sure. Yeah. If Jibri will now interpret where the YouTube stream ID is passed, if there's a full URL there, it'll just use that as an RTMP URL. Similarly, there's a broadcast ID field that can be used for a viewing URL. So those are merged in Jibri. There's also support in Jibri for deciding which streaming services you want to allow and blocking others. So we don't have this deployed on Meet yet, but that would be coming soon.
Right. How soon exactly it will be landing on Meet is I guess a question that we could discuss in the next community call. But for sure, there's been many people asking for it on their own deployments. So hopefully this is good news for you all. I think that's all that I had. Is there anyone else from the team would like to add anything? Oh, I see that Saul left a note for new mobile SDK releases, and they include things like fixed chat issues, including a screen sharing indicator to thumbnails, and showing lonely experience only after joining. The tile view is having some improvements as well, updated translations, and I believe those are the main ones. Let me see, I thought I heard there were any questions arriving in chat. Emil, I had faced an issue on Jitsi integration in mobile app. Can I discuss over here? Yeah, as soon as we open the mic, you'll be welcome to ask the questions. Let me first make sure. Anyone else from the team want to add additional updates?
I'll just throw in that the JVB fixes were around, typically would have been around like low bandwidth scenarios. And so it wasn't oversetting generally, but it was most prominent in the kind of low bandwidth case.
Right, so if you have users with low bandwidth, definitely make sure that you are using those. Anyone else from the team? All right. Microphone is open for questions and comments from the floor. So, Safish, would you like to go? Hey.
Yeah. How are you doing? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, this is regarding the Jitsi SDK on mobile application. So I have been using React Native for post a year. I have integrated the Jitsi. So while I have integrated making a video call, I have three dots, which is an option. Like we have meeting information regarding the calls details, etc. So while tapping the meeting info, it navigates me to the invite users.
It navigates you to what, sorry?
It navigates to me invite users screen. Instead of meeting information, it navigates to the invite users via social media applications.
I see. So there's no 3 dots on mobile on the SDK, so I'm not sure how you're getting that actually. Are you just embedding the web view?
Yeah, I'm just integrating the web view.
Oh, that's not how we use it. So yeah, expect all sorts of suboptimal behavior. What we do on mobile is use the native SDKs. This is where we spend our efforts. We do support web on. We do support mobile web browsers. As you've noticed, it does work suboptimally, but unfortunately, we don't have that much time to improve the experience there. If you'd like to submit a fix, you're most welcome to do that. But I'm afraid that we won't be able to help much with bug reports.
Sorry to interrupt. Is there any way to hide that meeting information? Because it's giving me the wrong information, like navigating to invite users instead of meeting info. So it would be grateful if I can hide that particular meeting info from the list.
I'm not sure I understand. You click on the invite user and then it not.
No, there is no such option like invite user. I'm getting only as meeting info.
That's in the toolbar.
Yeah.
Well, we actually don't have a meeting info option in the toolbar at all already. Like,
so if possible, I can share a screenshot over here.
Sure, you could start a thread on the forum about it.
Already, I can. I have already shared an inquiry in our forum.
just not sure what to say. As I said, it's not something that we do on mobile much. If anyone else here kind of gets the point and wants to answer.
Can you paste in the chat here the link to the forum?
Sure, I will
So
post. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Other questions?
Yes. Can I?
Yes, absolutely. Go for it.
You can hear me? That's good.
Yes.
I've had the Jitsi Meet self-deployed for about a year, and everything works fine. Now I've seen on the newer version that it has functionality for Safari, which this one seems to be working fine because I'm on Safari and I don't, you're the meet.jit.c. So how would I be able to have the same functionality? I try to reinstall and a redo and a fresh install, and it always reverts. It always just shows the older Jitsi version.
Could it be that you are launching it in something like, are you sure you're launching it in Safari? So are you talking about Safari desktop?
Yes.
Or,
I mean,
okay.
what I'm trying to say is, every time I install it from Freshen now, I just seem to get the older version. I don't get the newer version with join meeting on the bottom and add name and so on. So.
Oh, no, that's just a matter of enabling the pre-join screen from configuration. That's not a matter of version. You have to make sure that this is enabled. So in the config.js, you can actually open it on meetjitsi/config.js. There's an operative code pre-join page enabled. You have to make sure that this is set to true in order to see that page. I suspect that's
having that down pre-join enabled. And you said that's where?
That's in config.js. And if you want to look at our settings in general on MeetJT, you can actually open our config.js by going to meet.jit.si/config.js.
Got it. Yeah, I think that may have helped me because I've been pulling my hair out to try to get this beautiful new version working.
It's likely you have the beautiful new version. It just looks exactly like the old one if you don't enable these flags. So
I understand. I seen that video bridge 2 was installed. I was just, okay, I got that. Thanks for your help. Great job so far. I really appreciate this.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your kind words. Okay, Daryl, YouTube live stream doesn't appear to be live. That's weird. It does show live for me. Let me see. Live. Let's see what's going on here.
yeah, it says the video is private to me when I click on the live stream view.
Oh, let me go and fix that right away.
Good call. Thanks for the call out.
Yep, indeed. I will fix that right away and I'll be back in a minute. Well, actually, never mind. Let's continue because I can't. YouTube blocked their old studio mode, and I'm not sure where to find that option in their new studio. So I'm going to keep doing that in the background, and I'm going to leave the microphone open for folks to engage. So please proceed with your next questions.
Hi, this is
David
Ben.
has one. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Hi, sorry. I have a brief question about pre-join, since you already mentioned that. Is there any plan to add participant information about who is in the room at the time to the pre-join screen? To the pre-join screen, or if you have any recommendation of how one would add that?
My recommendation would be not to do it because it would mean revealing information for the usage of a channel unbeknownst to the users in the channel. So we see that as privacy leakage, and we're intentionally not doing it. Now, if you had an environment where you would guarantee that people that get to that page have already passed some sort of authentication, then the way to do it would be to implement the prosody module that returns that number of participants to you, and you can query it from that page. But unless you have that authentication, you really shouldn't do something like that.
Okay, thanks.
One of the core modules of Jitsi is that you get information only when others can see that you can get information. And,
Right.
and the pre-join screen doesn't show you that you're in the channel. So there you go.
Thank you.
Sure. Other questions?
Yeah, I have a question regarding the end-to-end encryption. I don't know if you already said something about it. Here, Zagul merged a pull request to add this key exchange from Matrix, and I don't know if it's now working automatically or in the next release, or how does this work?
Yes, it is. So in the latest version of it's actually not necessarily the most intuitive from UX perspective. So you can view this as a temporary stage. It is not finished. Specifically, the bit that it is missing, and that's a very important bit, is the ability to authenticate users, right? So you need to be able to somehow validate that people on the other end of the call really are the ones sending and receiving traffic that's sent to these people. So typically that's done in ad hoc scenarios with something like short authentication strings or QR codes, things like that. That's what needs to come before we would allow ourselves to advertise that. But yes, we're getting closer. So now we do have the automatic key negotiation, which in terms of usability, is getting a few steps closer to the final solution.
Okay, is there a time frame for it?
As soon as we can do it. We're working on it, and we'll keep the community posted.
Yeah, I have more questions regarding this topic. Because Chrome is currently the only browser which has implemented this feature. What happens if someone is joining an encrypted call with Firefox or Safari or some other browsers?
They don't hear or see anything in the call.
Okay, so there's currently no fallback to not encrypted.
Well, I mean, you can turn off end-to-end encryption. That's
okay.
The
so it's not automatically activated.
No.
Okay, so you have to click OK and to encrypt this call, and then everything the key exchange starts.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And are there any plans to or is there any time frame to implement it in the mobile SDK and all this stuff?
Yeah, we're working on that too. Yes, absolutely. That's currently an ongoing piece of work.
Okay. Yeah, that's all questions I had. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Other questions?
I wanted to just ask if I want where the config.js file actually is on the point that we were just talking about. Where would I find that?
By default, it should be in /etc/jitsi/meet, and then it'll be your site name -config.js.
I got it. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
While we're in between questions, does anyone know where the bloody controls for privacy are on YouTube live streaming with their new interface?
I think it's part of your event details, but I don't remember exactly.
We don't have an event for this one. This is
this is like the main stream controls.
Yeah.
Then no, I don't remember anymore. I think it's under revert to old view, and then you can do it.
That doesn't exist anymore, though. That's the problem.
Oh, right. They just removed that. Okay, well then.
Other questions? I see there is a lot of activity in chat. Any questions that anyone would like to raise here, there?
Hi, this is David. Yeah, I'm
Hey, David.
participated in the chat, and I don't know if you've read through it, but just in summary, we had a meeting this past Saturday with, we've had many meetings, but this first one was heavily impacted by some performance problem we didn't understand. And we suspected maybe a Firefox user was in there mucking it up. It
shouldn't be possible for one browser user to, for one user to lead to the crapification of the entire call. Like that, I'm not really, except, I mean, that used to be possible in the past when certain browsers didn't support simulcast, and then certain users would like send 10 megabits, Firefox would do that. And then there's nothing for us to do. But even then, the bridge should just drop the entire stream if that's not passing. So my guess would be that this is probably not due to the particularity of one user, unless the experience was only bad for them.
No, it was terrible for everybody. We had audio was delayed up to 5 seconds.
I mean, the only thing I can think is if the load on the bridge was overloaded. It's possible that because Firefox doesn't do layer suspension, there was so much bandwidth coming in, or possibly something else was happening on your bridge that it was overloaded. If you have instrumentation for that bridge, I'd check what its load average was at the time of the problem.
We were using the Jitsi Meet bridge.
Oh, you're using our bridge.
Yeah. We've never had an issue before, and there are only about 10 users, but poor video, delayed audio, and also some garbling of the audio. So, and this was Saturday morning. We're in Western Washington, U.S. This was about 10 a.m. So I don't know if there was something unusual happening on the bridge, or if a whole.
Oh, you mean you were doing that on Meet Jitsi?
Yes.
The one issue that we're aware of is what we mentioned with regard to oversending. That was happening. That was a bug. And I think we did the release. We're not actually sure how fully this bug is eliminated, but when did you say again your experience was?
This past Saturday morning, about 10 a.m. GMT -8.
So yeah, we're going to. Sorry.
We still have a fix. Sorry to interrupt. I mean, we still have one fix that's not released yet. So that's we haven't tested it fully yet, but we'll be trying a release today or tomorrow.
Okay.
And that's the one that had the biggest impact. So it's possible. Could help your scenario.
Okay, so the next day or two,
It's not traditionally a time that we're overloaded, but I still think there is some value in that fix going out. It may have still been impacting your users.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, it's a great tool. We've used it a lot of times, and that's the only time we've had any issue. Thank you very much.
A pleasure.
Hi, I've got a quick question on. I came across from the community forums this project that I think Boris worked on a while back. This JIBBG, which I think was for using the ICE UFrag to encode IP addresses, so that I guess you could, effectively use almost like a load balancer and get dynamic affinity to a particular JVB pod. I was curious if that's ever been used, or that just is there even viability for, over UDP, kind of having a bunch of having a load balancer, effectively some type of load balancer in front of a number of JVBs, but having a way of encoding and having the traffic for a particular client endpoint getting directed to the correct JVB pod.
So the purpose of this project was not to load balance in particular, but to share a single public IP address port pair.
So that's what I meant.
I don't think we ever used that anywhere seriously. It worked as a proof of concept, but that's about it.
And from a theoretical perspective, it's definitely still appealing, right? Because it allows you to have a network ingress onto a Kubernetes or some other place where you can just advertise a single IP address, but still route to your dynamic bridges in the back. It's just we never actually deployed it, so we can't give you a lot of confidence in does that particular implementation have any issues.
Got it. But theoretically, I guess, though, is the basic premise that you would just need to direct it in the first step? Does every packet need to kind of go through some filter to kind of get directed, or
the way it works is it parses stun packets. So when there's a new session, meaning a new UDP session from a client side, it's going to read the UFrag and decide which backend to use based on that.
Got it.
And then once that is set, this is the backend that is going to use for the rest of the session.
Got it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it really would simplify a lot, I suppose. But you've never really tested it.
Yeah, I think one of the issues would be things like resilience when things go down. If you're really trying to move all the users, I guess they have new sessions, so that's probably not a huge deal. But just routing traffic without any intelligence it has its pros and cons, right?
Right. Yeah, there would need to be some sort of like transparent, like it's failover, like with that, if the IP that is getting directed to the JVB, internal pod IP goes down, we would need to be able to kind of reroute that.
Well, in general, if it goes down, then ideally Jacofo's aware of it and will simply introduce all the users to whatever the new bridge is that it's going to have involved, and then we just have new sessions that then JGBG sees.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, the main concern is about performance on it. There's not a lot of monitoring on it. These are the things that would have been the next steps if we were taking it into production.
Got it. Okay. was curious. It's yeah, it's just interesting. So yeah, I came across it. I was just curious if that had yeah, if there had ever been any testing.
It's real cool, but yeah, let us know how well it works.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so it appears to me that our stream is public, and I've pasted the link here. So I'm not sure why it's not showing up for people.
Oh, it's just a different link than the one that we've shared in the YouTube sharing dialogue.
That's where I got it from. You mean for here in the meeting?
Yeah, I mean here in the meeting when I say plus to invite people, and then I look to see what the live stream link is. It's a different link than the one you just pasted.
No, but that is the actually. Wait, what? No, actually. Oh, that's weird. The one here works. The one
here works for you because you're logged in.
That's possible. But then I'm not sure where we're streaming.
Well, we're streaming to the one that is here in the room.
No, but I'm not sure what account we're streaming to.
Right, I see.
And I'm not sure why. It does show it's private. That is true. Oh my gosh, this is just.
Good thing no one's watching this, so at least we're not recording this for posterity.
Oh, we are recording it. So I'll make it
well,
public afterwards. But
right.
It's just whatever. One day we're going to make this better. Yeah, Ishan, it doesn't work because I'm not sure what this is, and I'm not sure how to make it public. It's just great. I don't want to break it up because I'll find the video afterwards and I'll make it public. But for now, I guess it's just going to have to remain that way. That's great. Thank you. All right. Other questions?
Yeah, just a quick comment.
Go for it.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Nigel. Just wanted to thank you guys for the fantastic job you're doing. We're doing a little bit of work on the source code because we need to extend some functionality, so we're not doing the iframe. And it's just really clear what a terrific job you guys have been doing. So thank you, and keep up the great work.
Well, that is really kind of you to say, Nigel. Thank you very much. And let us know how your project goes as you go forward.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Let's see. Ishan, you have your hand raised. Do you want to ask anything?
Actually, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so this is my first time and I would like to make useful things for the community, and I am an open source contributor and front-end developer. So how can I be useful for the community? Can you tell me?
If there's anything you'd like to improve, fix, add, you can start a discussion, you can send a PR. Those are usually the ways people get involved.
Okay, and these meetings that you organize every Monday, so these
it's actually
are
every other Monday, just to be clear.
Okay. So these are regarding the discussions on products by Jitsi, or are you guys only discussing the issues related to them?
We're discussing anything with regard to anything that's connected to the open source Jitsi project.
All right, great. So I will just have a look at the GitHub projects and let's see how it works. And I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well, thank you for that, for your eagerness to contribute. I don't see any more raised hands. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. And I wish you a wonderful week and see you again in 15 days. Bye-bye.